Okay, Coach, 5 games before we wrap up the season. What's your take on the position of your team right now?
Uh, I think we are in a position whereby we can say we're doing well. Uh, we are satisfied with the position, but at the same time, we still believe that we can do better than where we are from now.
So basically, you're still hoping for more points or more better performance than we are right now.
Yes, yeah, better performance, and that better performance bringing in points,
Okay.
because we would love to see ourselves in a better position from where we are at the present moment.
And there were times when we were flowing, collecting points, maximum points, and then people, I'm one of them, who perceive that maybe the spot for top four is still available. But you still firmly saying that right now your main focus is on the top eight. Was it because you know that there were times when we were going to start maybe dropping points or collecting just a point, not exactly 3 points?
Yeah, when I look at, there are games that I thought that we have played, that I thought now those were games whereby maximum points will get. Unfortunately, we did not get. We only got a point from each. From both. We got 2 points out of 6 points. And going forward, I thought now some of the games that we are left with are a little bit tight. And I could see that among some of my players, there was that pressure coming into them, because now they were thinking of top four, and the moment it becomes that, it's going to be a little bit difficult for them. So I've just been trying to calm them down, just to focus on each match that comes. But at the same time, I would say I'm still satisfied with the way the progress we have.
And amongst the 5 games or the 5 teams that we still are yet to face, we have the likes of Diodi, Matlama, Bantu. Don't you think maybe it's gonna be a little bit tough for you guys to maybe pick up points against those teams?
It's going to be tough, of course. I do agree with you. But at the same time, I believe in my players. I believe they will rise up to the occasion. The pressure, if you look at the remaining 5 games that we are left with, all the teams are above us, and they are all looking for top four positions. So the pressure is on them. The pressure is on them. Now, this is the right time for our players to take the opportunity also to showcase that they are a force that can be reckoned with, not putting pressure, but definitely I do believe that they'll rise up to the occasion of each match.
Okay, coach. The team played very well on weekend and in the last game against LNPS. But I've noticed that we are creating a lot of scoring chances, but we are not converting them. Uh, doesn't that concern you that we might lose the spot in the top 8 because of not scoring some chances that we create?
Not that much. Yes, it is a concern of not being clinical, but there are a lot of factors that comes within, that we also have to work on. Firstly, we need to do a lot of finishing drills. We also need to be playing more games, because now in between you play 2 games, then there's a break. you play another 2 weeks, it definitely also have an effect in terms of us, going forward. But at the same time, we also have to come up with means that would also enhance our guys to also concentrate in terms of playing. And I foresee ourselves coming to score or going to score in those games, because I believe those games are going to be open game. So the last match we played over the weekend, it wasn't that much opened. They really, one might say they parked the bus in term. But I think the other games, because all these teams, they want to qualify for the top four, they will open the game and play. I think goals would come. And at the same time, like you did mention in your question, I saw some very good attributes from my players. The likes of Brown, after having a setback in the national team. I saw something good, which I really appreciated, and I spoke to him about it. So he has that hunger. You don't see somebody with his head down, because I sat him down and I spoke to him about the scenario, and he has lifted up his morale, and I think he has a point, not to prove to anyone, but to give himself that happiness in terms of playing.
Yes, so Brown did have a good game, but we saw Matalipula Chavili not playing because of the cards he had. Did that affect the team's performance or scoring opportunities? As we know that he's one of our good strikers.
Yes, it did affect us. He also came back from the national team with very good morale, and having played in their win against the Seychelles on Tuesday last week. So it would have been great, for him to be in a lineup. But then it wasn't the case. But I believe that in the next forthcoming games, he'll be available. Then we can have more firepower up front.
And maybe looking at the game itself against LGF, were you happy with your boys? Did they execute your initial plan?
Yes, they did, and it was one of those tight matches. Like I said, they really kept defensively. They just closed us in a very awkward. They put us in awkward positions. Why am I saying that? Because they were aggressive. So our boys, the way we had planned, I would say I was happy with the way they conducted the game plan. And we had to switch again. We played something like 3 formations in one game. And to me, if the players are able to adjust and still try to penetrate, play offensive game, it was a very good thing for us as a growing team, because I believe in the future looks promising in terms of the way they are able to adjust, the way they are able to absorb whatever pressure that the opposition gives.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if any, where do you think we failed to capitalize in the game so that we could get a win?
In the last moments, in the attacking third, you would see areas. I saw areas. I even saw look at the tapes yesterday, whereby the last passes were coming in from the midfield, but those last touches in terms of controlling the ball, going into the goal mouth of the opposition, we were losing the ball. Morapedi, for instance, I can mention his name. We had cases whereby he was getting the ball. I think he was concentrating more on the defender than looking at the ball. And it did not happen once, it happened several times. I think if he had actually concentrated on holding the ball, we would have, I think we would have scored a few goals, you know. But at the same time, I'm saying for us to get into those positions, you know, in the attacking third, it's good now we know what to work on in terms of improving our game and being clinical.
Zile, you have been doing well this season, and I think for me, you might contend for goalkeeper of the season. And you have been number one goalkeeper for the team. What has been your secret for this season with your performance?
Well, I would say there's been no secret. You know, it's all about putting in some effort for what you want to achieve at the end of the day. And it's not been myself only putting in the effort. It has been about the support of the goalkeeper coach and the other goalkeepers as well. So the motivation from the goalkeeper coach and the other goalkeepers working on our differences. I think it's the one thing that has brought about the performance that I'm showing out there, and it's not only my performance. And I would say to you that if any other goalkeeper played there, he would give out the same performance, because the goalkeeping department has been very busy working on with all of us. Yeah.
And if I may say, you seem to have a lot of, or if I may say, you seem to have a solid defense that covers you in most of the situations. Do they make your work easier in the field by covering you up? Because in most cases, we know that on maybe on the ground, Ruti is there, but when you go up, Mukiti is there. So do they make your job easier?
Yeah, it's all about team effort, you know, because we always say, all of us, the five of us, the back four and us, we always communicate that if we keep a clean sheet, it's a bonus for us. We first start with a bonus for us, and we all know that if we keep a clean sheet, we have to work together. We have to build that camaraderie and trust each other. That's what's been making it easy for every one of us, for me and for them too.
The competition seems to be very tough on the goalkeeping department between you and Mukhanya and the goalkeeper coach who has been signed as a player under Robert. How does it make you feel to be the number one goalkeeper, knowing that you're competing with some of the best goalkeepers in the country?
Well, here, I never view myself as number one. I always tell myself that you got to wake up and work on yourself, not that you are number one somewhere. It's always about me working on myself to get myself better, because I believe that if I tell myself that I'm number one, stuff like complacency is going to start settling in me. So it's all about me working myself, preparing myself, seeing to it that I get to play one game better than the other. Not saying I'm the number one goalkeeper. It's me. In fact, it's me. I'm competing against myself, not against any other goalkeepers here.
Coming to penalties, I think we have had like 6 penalties against us, and out of 6, you have only considered 1. What is your secret?
Oh, I think there's no secret really. I don't know how to explain this, but at most times, I feel it in a game when there's going to be a penalty. I feel it, and when I have that feeling, I decide from that moment that if a penalty comes, I'm going left. No matter who plays it, if the penalty comes, I'm going left. If a penalty comes, this time I'm going right. I have that thing that comes in me. But it's not about being good at penalties, because penalties are To me, there's 50% chance of you stopping it, and there's 50% of you conceding to a penalty. So it's all about you knowing and deciding where you want to go. That's
Okay. And do you see yourself in the national team?
national team. I really don't have much thought of national team really. My performance starts with me thinking about this team first. I think about making this team a better team and me being a better person, the whole team being better. And for now, I just think the national team will be a bonus for me.
But it's every player's dream to play for the national team.
Yeah, it is every player's dream to play for the national team. But right now, I get to moments where I think that national team is too early for me to think about now, because right here I have goals here. I have goals that are set for myself, and I tell myself that achieve these goals first, then you have another goals after achieving this one first. For now, I have a goal, but it's a secret. I'm sorry, coach, between me and my goalkeeper coach. It's a secret right now. And once I reach that goal, you will see me. You will see me. Then I'll start focusing on another goal. But right now, national team, it will only come as a bonus.
Correct me if I'm wrong here. From my opinion, I think the presence of the goalkeeper coach on the bench has an impact on you. It gives you motivation. Let's say, for instance, let's say the game against LNPS, he wasn't on the bench. Do you think that had an impact on your motivation as a player? Because I have seen that when he's on the bench, he would keep communicating with you, then you get that morale, the confidence in the game.
You're not wrong. You are right. Coach Robert gives me motivation. Swai gives me motivation. We all there to motivate each other. It's not about who's playing and who's not playing. And his presence really pushes me. It pushes me up there, because, for one, I believe the LNPS game, it was one of those days where even I, for instance, don't know what was going on. But every day after a game, I sit down and review my performance. I didn't have a good day. And it's one of those days, a player can't have days.
Good days.
Yeah, good days all the time. But I viewed that game as that one of those moments that I didn't have a good game. But on the other hand, I thought about the coach not being there too. Then I considered that one too, as because he was not there, maybe I was a little bit shaky.
You had one of the best games again on Sunday when you played LDF. But I want to talk about the last save that you made in the last 10 minutes of the game. What came to your mind when the LDF striker had the ball on his feet?
You know, goalkeeping, sometimes one of the rules is that sometimes you have to put your everything there for the whole team. If it means putting your body on the line, that has to be it. So that save, even if some things just happen automatically. So I'm still waiting for a video. I had everyone talking about that save, but to me it was one of those things I had to do. You understand? So when I got out there and when I met Coach Roby and he told me about that save, and everybody else was on me about that save. I'm still eager to see that save, but for me, it was one of those things you had to do. I had to put my body there. It's one of those things that we practice, that sometimes when you're the last man, you have to put everything you have to stop the ball from beating the back of the net.
Okay. And still on the game, or still on the good saves that you've been making throughout the season, you have stepped up in most of the occasions when the team needs you. For instance, you saved a penalty against Djibouti. You made a spectacular save again on Sunday against LDF. Can we say you have really got where you want to be, or it's still work in progress?
Well, for me, it's still a work in progress. Like I said earlier, I have goals, and I'm working on myself continuously. Working on myself game by game, making sure that I get better with every game. I would say all in all, it's a work in progress.
And maybe shifting the focus to coach. We saw a change in the team. Lesia going forward and Tawamposi filling his position. Can you just say something about that change?
Oh yes. Yeah, it was a tactical change that we have been working on for the past 3 weeks. We first started working on it when we played a training match with LCS, and it worked very well, and we had drills on it here in training. So against LDF, we believe that it will work for us, and somehow it did work. Somehow it showed us some deficiencies in terms of offensive play, especially on Lesia. We saw that he's more dangerous playing from the back. You know, when he's up front, especially, I think the other thing was the opposition, because every game has its own merits. So against LCS, everything was flowing very well. But against LDF and other games that we played here in training, it was good. But against LDF, it showed that LDF were a better team. They were not giving us that space to play for him in terms of moving forward. But at the end, we changed to 4-3-3, and the moment we played to a 4-3-3 formation, then he started playing. You know, in terms of defensively and offensively, he was quite good. So yes, of course, going forward, we'll still consider that. We're not gonna leave it. Will also be determined by the opposition. You know, like I said earlier, as a growing team, we need to test all the avenues. So playing good teams, tough teams, I believe is good for us, because now we are able to judge ourselves to see where exactly are we, so that where we can add, where we are good, and you know, those kind of things. So it was a very good thing for us, but we still have other options, you know, other players that are there to keep our team going.
Hey, Coach, listening to people talking of Kick4Life, we are now a force to be reckoned. People are now taking Kick4Life FC highly. Isn't that putting pressure on you as a team and you as a coach?
Yes, it does. You know, football every day, I always talk to my bosses here that there is pressure every day, every time in football. And with the good work that they are doing, I think I've shared it with them that each and every match that we've played lately, all the teams they prepare themselves for Kick4Life. But we've got to take it in a positive way, that there is something that they're doing right. So they should also up their game, so that it gives them the opportunity to grow and improve. So you look at the remaining matches, all of them in top 6. Now it's the opportunity for us all as Kick4Life to take the opportunity and see to it that yes, those people who are thinking or who are saying Kick4Life has improved, to say they are right, but we'll do our level best also to put our feet on the ground, to put our feet on the ground, to be humble, to respect each and every match that comes, and I think the humility should be of highest level. Then I think things will be right.
Looking at this weekend, we don't have a game. What are plans?
Tomorrow, Wednesday, we're playing a training match against a first division team, leaders. I think they are in the southern stream, if I'm not mistaken, or they are not in the stream, but we play Fota. The police team based here in Marseille. And on Thursday again, because we have two teams. So the guys who did not feature mostly over the weekend will play tomorrow. Then the others who had played and the others who did actually did not play will also involve them in that Thursday match against Mafeteng LMPS. So on Friday we'd have a session here in the room whereby we'll review all the matches, mostly the last two matches, so that we have discussion and prepare for the forthcoming week.
Zile, we have been conceding from set pieces and crosses, but lately I've seen even if you concede, we don't concede many goals from set pieces. Or what do you think has changed that situation?
I think working on them on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, has changed everything. It was done by Coach Robert, and I for one insisted that I thought it was my weakness. Then I approached him and told him that I'm beginning to think that it's my weakness that we are conceding on set pieces and corners, And since then we have been working on them on a weekly basis. In the 5 days of training, we work on crosses and set pieces for about 4 days, and that work has really proven positive, because right now I've started to gain confidence in collecting crosses and positioning myself doing crosses. I looked at my performance with the LGF game. I thought I've collected 70% of the area balls, and that was a positive sign for me, and that was a positive sign for the coach and the other goalkeepers as well. So it's all about working on the weaknesses.
Okay, how does it feel to work with Coach Leslie Nots'i as the head coach, as one of the successful coaches in the country?
It's always a pleasure, and it's always a pleasure working with big coaches as my boss here. And right now everything is going on well, because for me, he's not just a coach, just a football coach. He's also a mentor. Since he came here, he has changed a lot of things here, and he changed a lot of things from the get-go. From the first game he got here, everything changed. From the mentality of the players, from the attitude of the players, from how the players view games, and from motivating players to see to it that each and every one of us gets to be a better player, and every one of us gets to believe in each other, and as individuals and as the whole team.
I think one last more question for you. During preseason, I don't know if it's in January or in the beginning of the season. I'm not quite sure. There were rumors that teams like, I don't know if, okay, there were teams that wanted to sign you, but you stayed loyal to Kick4Life FC. What does the future hold for you? Are we still going to see you playing for Kick4Life FC next season? Oh, this is your last season with the team.
There's been a lot of movement for me lately. I've gone from Atlama to LCS, then here. I think for me it's a lot of movement, and for now I'm comfortable here, because I'm getting game time, and I'm working with people that understand me and I understand them too. So for now, I call this place home, and I think I'm going to be here for a pretty long time now. Yeah, I'm here to stay.
Last one. You're one for me, if I may say. One of the hardworking players, always on time, very hardworking. There are some young boys who see you as their role model. What can you say to them regarding their talent, regarding on their life, social life?
There's one thing I believe is going to change everybody's life, and that one thing is talent. You have talent, but talent is never enough for an individual to go places, to achieve certain things in life. The one thing that I believe in is hard work, and I believe that's what got me to a point to where I am now. And to everyone out there who sees me and every other Kick4Life player as a role model, I would say to them, guys, it's all about knowing what you want and following what you want, staying true to yourself, and at the top of it all is working hard to achieve what you want. That's all I can say.
I got only 2 questions. Difficult but easy. One for you and one for Coach. So starting with you. During this season, the 2015-2016 Vodacom Premier League season, which game would you consider not recalling and why?
There are a couple of games though, for me. There are a couple of games. One was the game against Sele Thetsane, when I had spent a lot of time not playing, about 6 games, and I came in just to concede 3 goals. That game had a very bad effect on me, but the position I play, it needs people who are mentally and physically strong. Because after that game, I kept 4 successive clean sheets. I'll never forget that game. It's a game against LCS. It's 3 games, 3 goals, 2. Ever since I've started a professional career here, I haven't been conceding more than 2 goals. I played 2 games where I conceded 3 goals, and those games really, I saw those games as wake-up calls. You understand? And the other games are the games which I kept clean sheets against teams which I had never kept clean sheets playing against. Well, I keep records for myself. I've never kept a clean sheet playing against Diodi, and I did. That's one highlight. I had never played Bantu in my professional career. Last season, the last game of the first round, this season, the last game of the first round was my first time playing against Bantu, and I kept a clean sheet. I highlighted that one as well. I had never kept a clean sheet against LDF. I played against them maybe 3 times, and on Sunday, I kept a clean sheet against them. So these are the kind of records I keep for myself, and those are the kind of games I highlight for myself. And I'm still waiting. There's the remaining games, they're tests for me, and I still have hopes with them. I still have missions to accomplish through those games. Thank you.
And Coach, I don't know if I will be victimizing him, but I'll just say it anyway. During the first half, we saw Maestro's work rate dropping. Looks like he didn't have a good day on Sunday. But you didn't substitute him, or in fact, I may say no subs were made at all. Yeah, can you just comment on that?
Yeah, actually I was expecting that question. And there are a lot of factors that happened during the game on Sunday. Like I said, we ended up playing 3 formations because of the game, what the game was bringing in. Yes, I do agree with you. The last 10 minutes, Fidel was not really, on song. He's a player like all the players that we have here that I believe in. I was every moment hoping that he will make a difference. He's the type of a player who can change a game, and I was always hoping that something would come up, only to realize after the match that he was not, I would say, he had his stomach bug, but now he did not communicate with us. And also, when I checked on the bench, we had 2 offensive players. One was somebody who has not played completely this season, that is Kabelo Salomon. But one would ask, why was he on the bench? My thinking with our technical team was, let's say, we always think big, in terms of going forward. We win this game with around 2 goals. Last 15, 10 minutes, we put him in just to give him a morale boost, but it wasn't happening. So those guys were aggressive, very physical. So I said, no, I need to protect my players, because that's one other thing as coaches that we need to do. We need to protect our players. Then there was this youngster, Marco Makwanyana, also on the bench. Then I thought, no, the guys, they're still doing well. I even shared it with my colleagues on the bench that Brown, Fidel, what's his name? Morapedi. Something, they'll bring something, because the way they were taking their runs into the spaces, the way Tsidiso and Thabo Maswele and Lesia were giving those penetration passes, I was always hoping like, just before the last 2 minutes, the last 5 minutes, something would come in, but it did not come. Unfortunately, it did not happen. But I've sat down with our cameraman. I've asked to have some of the clips to be edited, so that on Friday we're gonna sit down. One of the agenda in our discussion is on Fidel. Yeah, because I think since we're going to sit down and discuss the game, it will be good for the team to highlight some of the things, because going forward it will give them a lesson or how we like things to happen. Yeah, because one other thing, if I may add, again with Fidel, he commands a lot of respect in all the Premier League teams. So his presence always, they give him too much respect, and we need to capitalize on that. I'm not saying even when now he's bleeding blood, we should keep him in the field. But those moments when I say, okay, even if he's not coming back in terms of defensive duties, but he should just hang in there. We get the ball, we give it to him. He may bring that individual brilliance that would give us a goal. And if you allow me, I'd also like to say something about Sele. One of the reasons, I've said it before in our interviews with our players, one of the reasons I agreed to sign for Kick4Life is players like him, players who respect the game, and they give you a challenge. I don't want to say much, but they give you a challenge, and he's been brilliant. It's not only in our game against LDF that he kept us in the game. There have been several games whereby he stood firm. He showed that he has a big heart. Like the save that you're talking about, the last minute save. The reflexes, the big heart, and the composure, that he has really played a big part in our defensive duties as a team. So, and the good work that our goalkeepers coach has done to our goalkeeping department as a whole, and it has brought a very, very good understanding between his goalkeeping department and the defensive department, because it's very good to have that, and going forward, I believe he has a big future, and it's good to hear from him now saying Kick4Life now, he has made it as his home. So it gives me courage that now planning for me with the team going forward, I'm not wrong to say I'll put him in one of the players that we say now we're pushing together forward. Yeah.
Thanks, Coach. Melody, any questions?
Thank you, Coach and Sele.
And good luck for the next game.
Sure.